Hello, all you hardworking CC families. For the final project, I have a abstract desert landscape. So we're incorporating those mirror image cactus that we did. We are doing perspective with the landscape here. And then we've got, if you want to change it up, we've got the abstract, the aspect that you can add to the cactus. So let's get started. Grab a sheet of paper. This is just printer paper. You could use cardstock as well. On here I've got markers, oil pastel, and then I did use a little bit of chalk. So use the mediums that you have on hand. All right, to get started, let's see if I can put these in the frame together. We're gonna start with things that are in the foreground. We're gonna start with this cute little family here of these round cactus. So we wanna do them maybe about 3 fingers high, and they're not sitting directly on the bottom. The first one we're gonna do is this middle one. So he's about the size of my thumb. So I'm gonna come over here, not all the way to the bottom, maybe about 4 over. And again, this is just about, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm gonna draw him about right here. And I'm just going to do an upside down U, like so. Then I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna draw this one. I want them to look like they're overlapping and that this one is behind it. So I'm going to come on top of this and I'm going to draw it down like so. Now what we want to do is try to keep these fairly in line with each other. Let the bottom of them are about the same. About, not perfect, about. And then we do the same thing with this guy over here. Make him coming out behind. My marker's starting to get sad, but that's okay. I'm gonna press through. And then we'll just do one little guy over here by himself. Okay, you could choose to add the flowers or not. That was where you can add in kind of an abstract component. You could even do these abstract. You could color your mountains all different colors. So this is where we can give the students some freedom, that we're gonna get the black lines drawn in and then let them add the components that they want to. So if you want to add the flowers, we're just going to do a really big swooping U and then just some bumps, bump, 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 bump for the petals. Okay. Now for the bigger ones, they're going to need bigger flowers, and for the smaller cactus, smaller flowers. Like so. Okay. Then we want to make these look like that they're grounded. And so we're just gonna put like a rough squiggly line kind of connecting all of them, kind of like you've got a, kind of a nervous hand like this. We're just gonna go whoop like that, kind of connect them all, and it kind of grounds them, we see where they're sitting on here. Now, one of the dominant things in our picture, because it's the largest thing, is going to be this cactus here. I just am going to draw him as a single stem. We also have the ones that you could do with the arm. It depends on what level your students are at. So this one is about the size of my hand. I don't want him going all the way to the top, and I'm gonna have him sitting back a little bit further than this little family of guys here. So here's my line for this family of guys. I'm gonna come up a little bit further. I can see about where I need to draw it. So we could come and we could draw our U up here. Like that. That way we know that we're not going to go all the way to the top. And then we see down here at the bottom, I can place my finger and I'm going to draw. Told you my marker's getting sad. Draw him down. And it does not have to be perfect, because these cactus are not smooth. Well, they're very prickly, but they're not going to be exactly perfect. So it's okay. Now we're going to draw those 3 lines in the middle. And you want to make sure, you know, this is probably a little bit fatter than this one, but you want to make sure that there's enough width in there that the students can add in the color and texture they want to. So I'm going to do 1 line, and these do not have to go all the way down. And we just want to give the illusion, oh, I forgot my lines over here. We just want to give the illusion that these are prickly. We do not want to put as many pricklies as there are in real life. We're just giving the illusion, like, oh, look, we're filling in, our mind will fill in that there are more pricklies. Okay, back to my little lines over here. So Same concept. We're gonna do, see how this kind of curves? We're gonna do curve, curve, straight, curve. I got 4 lines in there. This one, because it's small, we're probably gonna get 3 in. Straight, curve, curve. Straight, curve, curve. Straight, curve, curve. Okay, done, almost done. We've got to give that rough line down here at the bottom to say, oh, look, it's sitting on some sand, like so. Now I'll put a rock in here. That's up to you, but just to put some other objects in there. And so I'm just gonna do this jagged rock sitting beside here. And I put a few little lines on this side, because if my sun is shining down and it's close here to my cactus, it's not gonna be getting a lot of sun over there. So I just put some rough lines in there to show some shadows. Okay, now let's get, we've got our foreground here, things that are in the front. We've got our middle ground, and then we've got our background here on the horizon line where our mountains are. So let's get these middle ground in here, these cactus. Now this is just with the black marker, because they're further away from us, we can't see all the details. So we are not gonna draw any of these spiky lines. I didn't add any color to them because they are further away. So it's gonna be harder for us in real life to be able to see exactly what color they are because they're so far away. Okay, so we're gonna go above our little family of cactus here. And we're gonna start with our rough line, and we can just do rough line, and maybe another rough line like that. And then we're gonna put our cactus family sitting on top of that rough line. So we're just going to do a line, a thick line, and then you can give, this is where we could do some with the arms. Now when we did the cactus originally, this was when we did the week of the mirror images. And so this is, you know, basically the same on both sides, but with our arms here, it's okay. We don't have to do that. We are just, this is a collaboration of different weeks here. Now, if you'll notice, these two are bigger than these back here because they are closer to it. So I'm gonna put some back here on this other little jagged line, but they're not gonna be this big. They're gonna be even smaller to give the illusion that they are further away. Like so. So you can see my finger can cover those up, can't quite cover those up. So we're just, if it's closer to us, it's larger. As it gets further into the background, it should be smaller, and that'll help our trick our eye to make you thinking it's further away. All right, so let's put this mountain range in here. Now we can see this mountain range, it goes behind this big cactus. When we're drawing, we want to be careful that we are not putting the mountains on top of our cactus that we just drew. So we can do a line going up. We're going to jump over our cactus and coming back down, okay? And then we can take this, the easiest thing to do is just do a straight, now let's just do a straight line, and then we can come back in and add some more of the mountain ranges. Now, after you've drawn a couple like this that were overlapping, you can come back in between and do another peak, and it looks like it's going even further in the background. And I'm not using a really hard hand right here. And then we can put some other tiny ones back there, like these mountains just keep going and going. Okay, and then to give the helping with the light and different things, sorry, I'm losing my words, we can do a few little lines. It's kind of helping that this marker's getting sad. Just on one side of my mountain, I'm gonna do that for all of them on the same side. Just kind of gives them some dimension to my mountains here. Okay, so now may be the time you either give them a pen or let them use their marker, whatever they're drawing with, to put their name down here. I like to put the date, how easily we can forget. Okay, so if you want to treat this just as a regular landscape and you do the all traditional colors, you can. Maybe you let them do all the mountains a different color. With this, I did pull in some markers and just did circles and dots, circles and dots, circles and dots. I did zigzags and circles. So you can walk your students through that or give them that freedom. Now for our mountains and shadowing, I did do like a darker and then a lighter. So where we did the darker, we can do darker. Here's my oil pastels that I love. Darker, darker, darker. Then you can kind of come back in and mix those colors, and you can do this with crayon as well. And the coloring doesn't have to be perfect. I can still see a little white that comes through there, but if a student finishes early, they may have large gaps in there, and you could say, hey, let's go back and fill in some of those white spaces. Now to make these mountains seem like that they're sitting on this horizon line, you'll notice that I still used some of this dark color right underneath to kind of ground that there. Then transitioned, and then again used some of this darker one as we started coming down, and even used some up here to kind of ground these, and then I would come back in with my other colors, but it is not going to make or break it. So then we've got our yellow, then you could even transition to a lighter yellow, but just blending those colors. So there we have our abstract desert landscape, if you choose to do the abstract part. But that's how we can do a desert landscape to wrap up our cycle 2 week 6 fine arts. So hope y'all have fun, and tune back in when it's week 13 and it's time for our fine artist, and we'll start again.